What if that emptiness you feel is not absence, but a silent invitation from God to return to His arms? Sometimes it seems that the world does not listen to us. People follow their paths, difficulties increase, and our requests are lost in the noise of haste and indifference. It is in these moments that we seek something or someone that goes beyond the visible. Someone who doesn't need words to understand, who doesn't demand explanations, who is just there, present, faithful, active. This is Saint Joseph, a figure who, at first glance, may seem discreet. But behind the silence he carries, there lies a strength that few understand. Joseph did not preach sermons. He did not perform miracles in public. Logically, he did not write a single line in the scriptures, and yet he was chosen to be the guardian of the greatest promise in history, Jesus Christ. And today, more than ever, His presence is needed. At a time when we feel alone, tired, lost, Saint Joseph presents himself as the intercessor for those who no longer have the strength to ask, as the one who welcomes, protects, and sustains, the patron saint of impossible causes, broken homes, and unspoken pains. At this moment, you will be led to a spiritual experience, a time to reconnect with what is sacred. But before continuing, make a request, a single request, not a superficial one out of convenience, but a sincere, deep desire coming from your heart, something that you may never have said out loud, but that will now be placed in the hands of an extremely faithful being. Here you will be guided by reflections, words of comfort, and images that touch the soul. The presence of Saint Joseph will be felt in the small details, in the sigh of relief, in the heart that calms, in the faith that is renewed. But can he really hear you? And how can you trust when everything seems impossible? These questions will be answered, not with explanations, but with faith, with surrender, with the certainty that in silence, God acts. Breathe, silence your mind, and allow yourself to hear what only the heart understands. Today is a day to trust in Saint Joseph. Close your eyes, breathe deeply, feel the air slowly fill your lungs, and release the accumulated tension. Once more, breathe in and breathe out. Feel your body relax, the weight on your shoulders lighten, and your mind gradually quiet down. This is a moment just for you. An intimate encounter with the sacred, where nothing else matters but your presence and your faith. Imagine yourself now in a peaceful place, a small garden where the sun gently touches your skin. Birds sing in the distance, and a gentle breeze brings peace. Before you stands a serene figure, a man with a calm gaze, calloused hands, and an expression of tenderness and firmness. This is Saint Joseph. He says absolutely nothing to you, but you feel through his earthly gaze that you have been understood. Without saying a word, Saint Joseph has already welcomed your pains, your fears, your anxieties. He extends his hand, and in this simple gesture, you understand. Here, you are protected. Here, no one will be judged. Here, faith finds rest. Saint Joseph is the man of silence, offers unshakable faith. He who cared for Mary with devotion and protected Jesus with courage. He who did not despair in the face of the unexpected, who listened to the signs of God in dreams and turned them into concrete action. He represents strength that does not need to impose itself, firmness that does not shout. He is the discreet foundation of the holy family, and today he can be the foundation of your life as well. Repeat in a low voice or in your thoughts, I trust, I hope. This phrase is not just a mantra. It is an act of surrender, of faith in something greater, of believing that, even if everything seems unanswered, there is a God who acts in silence and a just man who intercedes for us. Saint Joseph does not promise spectacular miracles. He offers his presence, the kind of presence that sustains, guides, and consoles. He is the patron saint of workers, a model father, guardian of homes, and protector of those who cry alone. And above all, he is the intercessor for those who live in impossible situations. If today you carry a bad feeling, a loss, some kind of physical or emotional pain, verbalize with faith now. I trust, I hope. Let these words enter your heart as a prayer. Visualize Saint Joseph holding that burden, that pain, together with you. He does not take it from your hands, he shares it. And in doing so, he transforms the weight into something lighter, fear into hope, doubt into faith. At this moment, allow yourself to just feel. Do not try to understand. Just believe and be in harmony with this moment, for Saint Joseph has already begun to act. I trust, I hope. Now that your heart is silent, it is time to surrender. You are before Saint Joseph, the righteous man chosen by God to protect the Savior, and now it is you whom he protects. Allow yourself to open every area of your life. Simply surrender what is too heavy. Surrender what no longer serves you anymore. He is here to welcome everything. In this first moment, let's work on your emotional and physical healing. Take a deep breath. Touch with your mind, your body, and your soul. Where does it hurt? Perhaps the pain is not in your bones, but in constant fatigue. Perhaps it is not a fever, but a deep discouragement. Any exhaustion that you no longer know how to explain. Today, place that pain in the hands of Saint Joseph. Ask for health, for strength, for relief. Tell him, Saint Joseph, I trust, I hope. He knows the weight of work, the restless nights, the silent anguish. He also cared, he also had fear, but he never stopped walking. Ask for courage to continue. Ask for the grace of healing, not just of the body, but of the soul. That wound that no one sees, that memory that insists on hurting, give it up now. He is with you. Now let's work on your inner peace and mental clarity. Now, be even more silent. The noises of the mind, the fears of the future, the voices that judge you inside, let it all go. Saint Joseph walked in silence. He heard the angels in his dreams because his soul knew how to listen. Ask him for this sacred listening. Say, Saint Joseph, help me. Find the silence that heals. Ask for peace, not the absence of problems, but that peace that endures even in storms. Ask for clarity, to make decisions, to know what is right, to understand the purpose of your life. Saint Joseph lived his purpose without spotlights, without applause, but with fulfillment. He can teach you that too. Feel your mind calming down, as if a soft light were illuminating your thoughts. Say, I trust, I hope. At this moment, we continue our prayer, asking for intercession for our family and our relationships. Now think about the people who are part of your life. Perhaps there is distance. Perhaps there is hurt. Perhaps you miss someone who has passed away. Saint Joseph knew the challenges of living together, the weight of family responsibility. He protected Mary. He raised Jesus with love, even though he was not his biological father. Ask for reconciliation. Ask for a reunion of souls. A hug that has not yet happened. A conversation that needs to happen. Ask for healing for your home. Say, Saint Joseph, make my home a place of peace. If you are alone, ask for company. If you are hurt, ask for forgiveness. If there are fights, ask for silence and peace. Saint Joseph is the patron saint of families, and families are places of healing when placed in the right hands. Surrender now, I trust, I hope, for your financial life and for your work. Have you ever felt wronged at work? Have you ever been afraid of not being able to pay a bill? Have you ever cried because you felt that your efforts were not recognized? Saint Joseph is the patron saint of workers. He lived by the labor of his hands. He supported his family with the sweat of his brow, and he did not seek riches, but dignity. Entrust your financial life into his hands now. Ask for prosperity, but the kind that comes with meaning. Ask for dignified work, a door that opens, a gift that blossoms, a path that unblocks. Ask for wisdom to use money wisely. Say, Saint Joseph, guide my hand and my efforts. And if you are unemployed, tired, or in debt, say with faith, I trust, I hope. Now we move on to deep inner healing. We have arrived at our resentments, at our deepest pains and disappointments. Our deepest pains and disappointments. Where old guilt lives, where the most painful resentments live, where the most painful voice is your own, inner voice. Allow yourself to look inside with courage. Saint Joseph, who looked at Jesus in the eyes with humility, now looks at you with the same affection. You no longer need to carry all this alone. Surrender the pain you don't tell anyone about, that flaw that insists on defining you, that mistake you can't forgive yourself for. Saint Joseph does not judge, he welcomes. Ask for compassion for yourself. Ask for divine wisdom, to understand that you are greater than your stumbles, that your soul can be cleansed, that there is a new beginning waiting for you. Say, I trust, I hope, and repeat once more, Saint Joseph, take care of me. Feel now, at this moment, that you are not alone, that your pain has a destination, that your faith has a direction, and that, even if everything seems the same, on the outside, something has changed on the inside. Take another deep breath. You have traveled a sacred path. You have surrendered your pain, your fears, your hopes. You have opened inner doors that have long been closed, and above all, you have trusted. Now, in silence, ask for a sign. It doesn't have to be something grand. It can be a simple gesture, a feeling of peace that fills your heart, an unexpected answer. In the middle of the day, but ask. Ask for a sign that heaven has heard you. Ask Saint Joseph to confirm his presence, to reaffirm his intercession, and trust that this sign will come at the right time, in the way that God desires. Remember, Saint Joseph acts in silence. While the world cries out, he works in silence. While many demand explanations, he offers discreet solutions. He is like the wind. You can't see him, but you can feel him. He does not act on emotion. He acts on faith. And now that you have been before him, renew that commitment to live with more serenity, to trust even when you cannot see, to try to be better each new day. You don't have to be perfect. You just have to be sincere. Be more patient with yourself. Be more generous with others. Allow this prayer to continue, echoing within you in the coming hours, during your sleep, in your dreams, in the small details of tomorrow. Before going to sleep, just repeat one. Last time, Saint Joseph, I hope in you. And let him take care of the rest. If this moment touched your soul, share your testimony in the comments. Talk about what you felt, what you gave, what you hope to receive. Sometimes your story can be the breath of faith that someone else needs. And if you want to continue experiencing moments like this, subscribe to the channel. Here, you will always find a safe space of peace and faith. Now, close your eyes with peace of mind. Keep your heart light. Saint Joseph is watching over you. Have a great day.